Have you been using it wrong all your life too? In this video I will show you how to use a heating thermostat correctly and save a lot of energy. Because maybe you know this too, you want to turn on the heating and set it to the highest level first so that it gets warm quickly. But in fact this is completely the wrong way and wastes a lot of heating costs. Because with the numbers you don't set how much water should flow into the radiator, but you set the desired room temperature. This means that no matter whether you set your radiator to 1, 2 or even 5, it will always warm up at the same rate because the same amount of water flows into the radiator. But unfortunately, very many people still think that they can use the numbers to set the flow rate. But what exactly do the numbers actually stand for? The numbers just have the meaning of how warm it should be in the room. The thermostat measures the temperature as soon as the room has reached the desired warmth. The heating is switched off, so no new hot water flows in. Only when the room temperature drops again and it's colder than we set it at the radiator starts to heat up again. And this is what the individual numbers and symbols mean. If you put it on a snowflake, you have a room temperature of about 6 degrees Celsius. That's to prevent the radiator from freezing. The next number we have is the 1. The 1 stands for 12 degrees Celsius. This means that when you set your radiator to 1, you are telling to heat it up until 12 degrees Celsius is reached in the room. Since it's probably already over 12 degrees in your room, the heater won't even run. On the second stage we have 16 degrees Celsius. With many thermostats, we then have intermediate stages from the second stage. The third step means 20 degrees Celsius and every line between 2 and 3 is 1 degree more. At 4 we are already at 24 degrees Celsius. And again, the dashes, that is the first dash after the 3 is no longer 20 but 21. The second dash 22 degrees Celsius. Until at the 4 we have 24 degrees. And when we set it to 5 we have a full 28 degrees Celsius set. That means if you set your radiator to level 5, it won't turn off at all because 28 degrees Celsius is really very hard to achieve. And surely you don't want to have 28 degrees Celsius in your apartment. So if you forgot to turn down the radiator, you will waste an incredible amount of money. Therefore, it is important that you know what the numbers mean, so that you can adjust your radiator to the room temperature you want. Then you can also run it without hesitation, so that the room temperature is maintained and you no longer freeze or even have it set too high. It is also important to turn off the radiators completely before airing the room, so that they don't turn on when you open the windows. This is because most of the time the radiators are located near the window. This means it will immediately realize it's colder and turn the heat back on. Then after you've aired the windows for a few minutes you can turn the radiator back on normally. This alone can save you an incredible amount of energy, just because you now know how the heating thermostat really works. Even better, by the way, is such a digital heating thermostat, because here you can set the degree exactly and you can even program it. I'll link you a video at this point showing you how to heat without turning on the radiator at all. You would make me really happy if you click the like button and subscribe to my channel.